Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS. We were just talking and Trey said, do you have something to talk about? I said, yes, I do. Because I watched that Biggest Loser Netflix documentary. Have you watched it yet?
No.
You must. It's like number one on Netflix. I'm sure half the people who listened have probably watched it by the time this comes out. But it is so good, super interesting. So what it is do you remember watching The Biggest Loser?
I don't think I've ever really watched that.
Okay, so for those of you who did not watch The Biggest Loser, like I think there's one person, Trey, in this world. It was 17 seasons.
Oh wow.
Super popular, and it was a group of like I would say obese people who like a group like maybe 12, and they compete to lose weight.
Yeah.
And it's like a weight loss competition show, and they have these like 3 trainers. The trainers have like certain contestants, and like if your contestant loses the most body fat, weight, whatever, by the final weigh-in, you have months to do this. So you're watching these people change their life in real time, learn how to eat healthy, exercise. And I mean, when I'm saying people go from being like morbidly obese to like muscles galore at the end of it, it's a crazy, like kind of, I guess you would say like Cinderella story it looked like for these contestants. So whenever, and it was widely popular, and they were making a ton of money because Subway had like Biggest Loser sandwiches. Like they were like cereal companies everybody was wanting a piece of this franchise. And I think the contestant that lost the most weight at the final weigh-in won $250,000. So a good amount of money. Also
you lost weight.
You like changed your life, which is priceless, especially if you've always struggled with it. And then it was really heartfelt because they would also have like them tell their stories, and they had a doctor on board as well. And so this whole documentary was about like how this thing got started. The fact that it was like these contestants were talking about how like unhealthy it was. Mm-hmm. Now most of the contestants have gained weight back, and they said some of them more than they did before. They were eating 800 calories a day, which is low, right? Like I think on the low end, like I've heard people like 1,200-1,500 calories I think is low.
Well, I think that's what your body naturally burns a day is about 1,200 calories.
So they were not only eating only 800 calories a day, but this was like through these trainers. Mm-hmm. They were also exercising up to 8 hours a day.
Wow.
So they were exercising nonstop, kind of starving themselves. So in essence, they were teaching them how to have a real good eating disorder, right? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, and these people would lose a ton of weight, but it was because they did nothing but exercise, throw up, and eat a little bit. Yeah. And then I guess at some point, they were upping the stakes. So then they decided that they were going to give them, I guess it was called Yellow Jackets. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it's like caffeine pills. So kind of like diet pills. So just super, super, super unhealthy. And kind of, it was interesting because after these contestants were done with the show, I would say about season 17, everything started coming to a head. I think the world had changed a little bit, and we're looking at it as, is this really healthy? Because I think it was season 17, there was a girl, and I remember very vividly this, she won The Biggest Loser. Like at the end, you go back home for like, I think 2 or 3 months, and you have to work out on your own, right? Like, and then you come back, and because they take that time to see if you really learned enough to
sustain
lose weight.
The lifestyle. Yeah.
So then you come back, and it's like this big surprise to the audience, and the final 2 people do their weigh-in, right? And but I remember this girl walking out, and she looked skeletal, like she looked like she had an eating disorder, and the 2 trainers' faces were not like happy for her. They were not. It was like shock, right? Like they were I think they realized that this had gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up winning $250,000 because, of course, she lost more weight than the other person. But she ended up weighing like, I think 205 or 105 pounds, which is
Whoa.
tiny. Like I weigh like 123. So tiny. Just super interesting. So after that, they had found that because they were pretty much starving themselves and having these eating disorders for over exercising and under eating, that whenever they got off, their metabolism had not gotten higher. It was floor level low. So all these people had kind of destroyed their metabolism. They have a lot of health issues. One girl, they did a thing. They were kind of upping the stakes, and they had it to where as soon as the contestants landed, they had to run a mile on sand. And if you didn't make it past the finish line, you didn't get to compete. This girl literally passed out. The contestants had to carry her through the finish line, and she said that she died. Like they had her in a helicopter, and she like left her body and died, and like had this huge health crisis because of that show. Anyways, real interesting, especially if you were somebody who watched it. But also, I think it's interesting because it kind of shows you how toxic that environment can be. I think everyone kind of worships losing weight and being skinny, and I don't know. It's just interesting.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp's 2026 State of Stigma report surveyed 2,000 Americans and revealed that 85% of Americans believe that getting support is wise, yet 74% say that society discourages people from doing so. And I find that very interesting because I feel like for so long, the stigma around therapy has often been that it's so expensive, but that is really where BetterHelp comes into play. BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists worldwide with the largest online therapy platform and have served over 6 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 stars for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. BetterHelp's therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. BetterHelp does the initial matchmaking work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. All you do is fill out a short questionnaire to help identify your needs and preferences, and their over 12 plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate mean that they typically get it right the first time. But if you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to different therapists at any time from their tailored recommendations. Don't let stigma stand in the way of support. Start therapy with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/weeklydose. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/weeklydose. Some of the best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. They're comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for every occasion. That is why I love Quince. They make elevated essentials with premium materials like European linens, organic cottons, and washable silks without the traditional retail markup. We have been very loud and proud about how much we love Quince on this show. I'm actually wearing their jeans right now. I love their t-shirts, but when I tell you their underwear is so silky soft, you have to try it to fully understand what I'm talking about. Every single thing I have ordered from Quince, I had absolutely loved. And they're expanding into other verticals now too. They have caviar, they have couches, they have you name it. They've got their bedding. I've heard is incredible. I haven't ordered it, but I have heard their bedding is incredible, and I can testify everything I have bought from Quince I've absolutely loved. Ooh, including their denim. Quince also has beautiful 14 karat gold jewelry that adds subtle finishing touches. Simple hoops and dedicated chains make the most effortless outfits feel very intentional. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And fun fact, if you scroll on a product to the lower half of their website, they'll show you who makes a similar product and what they're charging to really reinstate the fact that you're getting a great deal at Quince. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/weeklydose for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/weeklydose for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/weeklydose. Summer is here, and I am, no surprise to everyone, a little behind on getting my summer body ready. But Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet has me covered, so I'm not worried about it. While you might set goals for swimsuit season, lose weight, exercise more, eat better, it's hard to achieve them without a plan. That is why, for me, Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet is my secret weapon. Prolon gives you a science-backed, structured approach to targeting fat loss, supporting lean muscle, and resetting your metabolism so you can look and feel the most confident all summer long. Prolon is a plant-based nutrition program featuring soups, snacks, beverages, all designed to nourish your body while keeping it in a fasting state, triggering cellular rejuvenation and renewal. So you are eating, but your body thinks you're fasting. And Stephanie and I have done this multiple times. When I tell you there is so much food in this box, some days I'm like, can I finish all this? But the problem is it's so good, and you do have to eat it to hit those triggers in your body to say, yeah, we're fasting, even though you're not. I won't tell you exactly how much weight I've lost when I've done Prolon, but I can tell you I was shocked. And it really is one of the only things that has actually worked for me. Ready for your own reset? For a limited time, Prolon is offering Weekly Dose of BS listeners 15% off site-wide plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day program. Just visit prolonlife.com/weeklydose. That's prolonlife.com/weeklydose to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. prolonlife.com/weeklydose.
Travis and I were on a boat in Oregon. We went to, it was the weirdest boat we were next to. It was very stressful. We were with a normal group, and there was a boat next to us, and we were with like friends, right? Mm-hmm. And next to us was this other boat, and these were people who were kind of putting this show on. It was Hot August Nights in Oregon. So it's like a band in the middle of the lake. And there's these very young girls and these not attractive men. And I thought that at one point, and I had had a few drinks, and I thought at one point that this man's daughter fell off the boat and into the water. And he helped her out, and I said, what a good father that is. And when I say she got on his lap and started riding him like a donkey, I could not believe it. I was like, what in the world? It was so disturbing. This girl, I think she was a stripper because those moves were not normal. She had done that for a living. I will tell you this much. And she looked like it. If I'm going to be honest, I was like, that man's daughter is a hoe. But you know what? It's his hoe. That doesn't matter because she looked like special. You know, like I was like, I would not wear that on my dad. But you go, girl.
And then you realized that wasn't her dad?
Yeah, and then I realized it wasn't her dad. And then I was like, oh, my God, he is a child molester.
I need to call that girl's dad.
Yeah, I literally, you know me, I'm going to figure this out and be like, you need to pray for your daughter. So she's over there, and I just cannot stop watching. I'm like, what in the world? And this guy that we're with, he has a daughter who's like going to college this year, and he's like, you know what? Like, once you have a daughter who is almost that girl's age, he was like, you don't look at it as funny. You look at it as like, as a father, you're like sick. Like how this man probably has a daughter older than this girl, and he is being a pervert. And anyway, but then there's this, so this girl had two friends. I'm getting to a point. This girl had two friends. Another friend, and I know they weren't the people's daughters because I now learned that these are just the hoes. And one friend was normal. And then the other friend, like she was trying to be, in that hoey stuff with her friends, and I get it. I live my hoe days. I was not sleeping with a bunch of people, but I had my hoe gear when I was going out trying to find a boy that wanted to marry me. And why I thought that somebody would think I was wife material in a hoe dresses, that's another story we need to talk about. But whatever. So, but there's this one girl that was on there, and when I say she was trying to wear the same thing as her friends, but it was like falling off of her because you could see like she was so malnourished. She was definitely anorexic, and when I just felt so sad for her because it was not even gripping her vagina, like it was all that thing was just flopping around, and I was just like, wow. She has no idea that she looks like, I just feel like sometimes it just makes me sad because people don't realize when you have an eating disorder, like how far it's gone. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's it. But yes, there was that. And I was just told that guy who was worried about his daughter, I said, you know, what's really sad is, I mean, those other ones, they're making some interesting choices, but this one, I'm scared that she's not, you know, like she's not taking care of herself.
No one's ever accused me of being malnourished, but it's a dream of mine.
This girl was definitely 100%. Like it scared me. Like I get scared for people.
There are some people too, I think, that are like, your body weight needs to match your height.
Yeah.
Like there are some people that if you're 5 foot, 100 pounds may look normal, but 90 looks like, what's going on?
Like this was so crazy. You could see, you know, that bone like in your lower back. Like you could see it like sticking. I was just so sad.
I think there's nothing more attractive than a healthy looking female. Like you don't have to be the skinniest, but looking healthy. Like you know, and certain people need a little more weight to look healthy.
No, I agree. There was one girl also at that same.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp's 2026 State of Stigma report surveyed 2,000 Americans and revealed that 85% of Americans believe that getting support is wise, yet 74% say that society discourages people from doing so. And I find that very interesting because I feel like for so long, the stigma around therapy has often been that it's so expensive, but that is really where BetterHelp comes into play. BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists worldwide with the largest online therapy platform and have served over 6 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 stars for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. BetterHelp's therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. BetterHelp does the initial matchmaking work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. All you do is fill out a short questionnaire to help identify your needs and preferences, and their over 12 plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate mean that they typically get it right the first time. But if you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to different therapists at any time from their tailored recommendations. Don't let stigma stand in the way of support. Start therapy with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/weeklydose. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/weeklydose.
Thing, that same boat thing. She was on the dance floor, which was a sinking thing in the middle of the water. It was like
a sinking platform in the middle. What?
Travis and I went out.
Sounds like a time.
Travis and I went out there for 2 seconds, and I was like, Lord, take me back to land. I just felt like Rose in the Titanic, and there were too many people on my...
On your dance floor?
On my my door, and they needed to hop off, or I was like, you know what? I was like, no. What was I saying? Yes. Oh, but no. So we were on the dance floor, and then we got off because it was scary. And then we were looking at everyone on the dance floor, like how brave they were. And then there was this one girl, and she was a bigger girl. And she had a black swimsuit on. It was like a one piece, and it was going up her ass. I mean, it was a thong swimsuit, right? And I just thought, like, first of all, but she had so much confidence.
Good for her.
It worked for her. I was like, that girl is my hero.
I actually think that's all you really need.
Yeah, you just
as long as you feel confident in what you're wearing and that's all you need.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something, you can't tell me shit. Not a thing you could tell me to strike my confidence in my appearance. Like,
that's very true.
And
it's
that's
kind of a
right?
little sad, though. You know.
No, that's all I need.
No, Trey is, but yeah. So this lady, like, she was probably in her 20s, which I feel like can be like some of the most insecure times of your life. And when I say this girl she was mesmerizing because she just felt herself. She was super confident. And I'm like, that is
I also
a good
think
thing.
there is nothing more attractive to men than confidence.
Yeah.
And I think about one person in particular. You can say their name. I won't if you want to. She is so incredibly confident. I have never seen someone attract men to them. She doesn't got to get up. She sits down.
Carrie Birdingham.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yes.
they flock to her.
Yes.
When she was single, it was impressive.
When she was not single, I would go out with her. We went to a chicken, what was it? We went to a chicken opening, like a chicken, I'm not shocking, a fried chicken restaurant opening. And there was a band. When I say, and she was married, and when I say she's just dancing, and Trey and I were with her, and this lead singer almost falls off the stage singing.
He was
to
so
her.
mesmerized.
Yes.
Do you remember? We were in New York for Fashion Week, I think. And there was this, we were at the Gansevoort rooftop. And we were getting drinks. And there were these like 23, 24-year-old guys from like London. And they were just enamored by her.
Yes.
And she was like, go away. And they were just infatuated. But it's her confidence.
Yes.
She has this confidence and she carries herself like she knows she's the shit. And
Yeah, and they're like, I want to figure out why this girl's so confident. Yeah.
but it's impressive. It needs to be
is.
studied one
Yeah,
day.
it
'cause
really
it's-
is. I have never seen anybody like her. Like she just, but you're right. Like she's very confident in herself, and she also doesn't take crap from anybody.
No.
And she will tell men to scram. And like she was married, I will say. And they would give her attention. She'd be like, "Scram, Eduardo, you lost a good one." Yeah, and they were still like, "Oh my God, please marry me." It was so funny.
Yeah. Good for her.
I was thinking, I'm like, who do I know like that? One person. It's yeah, Carrie.
Brittany Cam.
Yeah, she has it. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Hollman on Instagram and TikTok.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast, and you can watch us on YouTube at We Could Dose of BS.
Bye.
Bye.